This is another perfect illustration of recycling electronics instead of throwing them in the trash. Or, like I said, around, landfill. You could recycle them, but the board in the back is from the original HP. But needless to say, there's that bt2025bh board. Trying to keep my head out of the way. As you can see, the two ICs there, and then we're just custom wired in. We've got two 100k ohm resistors right here. You can see them. Works just fine. So we can change the resistor values at any time. And it's got a short cable, but needless to say, the input resistors were definitely not big enough for what normally comes in from a computer. Normally they have a volume control, but these things are powerful. So those little chips, incredible. So I basically isolated the right one. It's no longer plugged in. As you can see, I safely lifted the power for it. As you can see where my finger's at. These are the power rails that would normally feed the sub chip, or subwoofer chip, but no, it's not plugged in. And we're just wired straight in with a good old standard jack, 9 volt, 12 volt jacks, positive, negative, all the way up to the caps. Runs, both those caps are in use, by the way. They're both in parallel. So there's two 2200 microfarad or 2200 microfarad caps in parallel. You go straight in, and it's run off of a regular conventional switch mode power supply. Runs just fine, no complaints. It's built for audio, and then the 3.5-inch jack just runs the speakers that are right here. As you can see, the two speakers. And it works just fine. Originally, the left channel was cut out, didn't work at all. And at least they were able to silk screen the inputs to the board. If you were to look, they're right there. It should be right there. Just take my word for it, they're right there. But needless to say, I'm going to assume that these are a 2-watt chip per each one, or 5-watt chip, because the one to the right was running a 5-watt speaker, and these were running 2.5-watt speakers per each. So it's pretty incredible for that little chip. No, it doesn't really put up much heat at all if it's ran properly. But yeah, there's an episode of. This will be a narrow vision for electronics, just so people can get an idea of what it takes to recycle electronics. Yes, we know how this stuff works. The component video out, or composite, feed yellow, left, or I should say, left, white, red, yellow, composite feed. Back in the days in the old HDMI. I don't think this has HDMI. I think it just has regular old crap connections, SPDI, and that was it. But all the caps on that board are still good, but there's no sense in powering it up or using it. You can see there's nothing plugged into it. But we're borrowing its chassis, so we can safely run an amplifier in a ground plane. Pretty cool, huh? That's the kind of stuff we do in year 2022. Recycle, reduce, reuse. Let's stop filling those landfills full of junk electronics. Like I said, if they can spray the sky with billions and billions of dollars, why can't we recycle old electronics just because we like to and we want to and we will? By the way, this board right here, the bt2025bh, closely resembles the TA2025 chip. So they're almost bang spot on for the circuit. And you can basically build any type of what we call a input filter for your chip, as far as resistor, capacitor, constants, and filters. But I found the ones that are soldered to the board on the underside they work just fine. No complaints. Works just fine. Like I said, and saved it from the trash bin. Well, for now, you know what they say, right? And the red and black wire right there is for the subwoofer if I need to use it. It's already pre-wired. And we'll have to build a circuit for that, because there is no documentation on that chip at all. And the TA2025 is close to it, but still, why hide the PDFs and the data sheets on these ICs? 90% of the stuff in here I can get off the internet right on that board. But why hide it? You know what I'm saying? Even, especially Logitech. Anywho, hopefully you enjoyed the vid.